Well, I got to start with where things ended because suffice it to say, we had heard throughout Tucker and that side of things that you not won the AI arena would be going. Of course, you did not go out fighting, I should say, between, making this rather public display about how everyone was playing for second place, and then even in your eviction speech, talking about how, Tucker, I think you're incredible, but I cannot wait for you to go. Talk to me about it from your perspective. Did you feel like the die was cast once Chelsea had won that AI arena? And whether or not that was the case, what were your tactics in being so open about calling out Tucker?
Yeah, people don't lie really well in the Big Brother house, especially on eviction days. I knew by looking at people's faces and the fact that they couldn't look me in the face that if I didn't win that AI arena last night, I was going home. So I felt like, hey, it's Big Brother. One last ditch effort to paint a giant target on Tucker's back, get in their heads a little bit, make them start second guessing and stop being so freaking scared of him. It did take him 5 weeks to win at HOH. So he needs to remember that. He's this big bad comp beast, but he only won an HOH where it was hanging on a wall. So he's not good at everything. And I really hope that maybe I put a little doubt in people's minds, and he is. He's playing a single game, and his only gameplay is to blow everyone else's up and win. Got comps, win comps. That's it. He has no other gameplay. No one wanted to work with him.
Well, speaking of blowing up people's games, of course, I need to get your reaction to. Obviously, you weren't necessarily in the know, but Tucker was targeting you pretty much from the jump, and he says as much in that veto meeting where he outs that he knew about the collective, and the Pentagon says you and Chelsea were the ones that were running things behind the scenes. And we see at least a little bit of confrontation between the two of you afterwards. But what was your reaction to all that being aired out in the open?
I never thought I would be the target of a public house call out. That was not on my bingo card at all when I was thinking about this game. But expect the unexpected. We are playing a game of Big Brother that has never been played before. Every single week, three people on the block, then also a replacement every single week for 5 weeks in a row. Like, this doesn't happen in Big Brother. So people were playing really scared. I guess I can say I'm flattered now that he thought I was the mastermind and this puppeteer that was running things. I literally was never even supposed to be in the collective. That was an accident. I just kept on getting asked to be in these alliances. And then, someone had to be the fall boy, and they painted it as me week 4. And here I am.
So let's say you had survived, your words not fall upon deaf ears, and you end up surviving over Cam, and you do come into power. I mean, listen, there certainly are a myriad of targets you could choose between. You're obviously adamant about going after Tucker. You felt betrayed by T-Core and Chemo. You had found out that Quinn was the one that had outed the Pentagon to them. Who do you think you would have gone after?
Absolutely, Tucker would have been my ultimate target. We were convinced in the house that the AI arena was ending this week. I was
Hmm.
convinced it was ending week 4. To know that it is still going on and there will still be 3 people on the block, I probably would have, if I was lucky enough to win HOH, used Joseph and one of the showmances of T-Core and Chemo, because they are a showmance, by the way. They're just the different type of showmance you've ever seen. But they're a pair. So I would have used Tucker, Joseph, and either Chemo or T-Core on the block and showed them a little bit of their own medicine.
So let's rewind a week where really it all begins to fall apart. And looking back on that eviction night between you telling Rubina, giving her a heads up that she's going, only to have that not be the case, to once you find out you're on the outs, then you start making this pitch that, oh, T-Core and Chemo tricked me. They didn't tell me
Yeah.
I want to vote with the House. How do you look back upon your reaction to that? Because I would say that certainly did keep eyes on you after that vote.
It did. I had two choices. I could lie and try to pin it on someone else, but I felt in that moment that I had got to say it, very matter of fact. So I chose to be honest, and I chose to kind of lean into the emotion and try to really sell, like, I did not want to do that. I had no reason to do it other than the house was saying you were going home. It clearly didn't work. And at that time, I didn't know that the Pentagon had been exposed. I knew that potentially the collective had, but at that time of the vote and the eviction, and even up to nominees and replacement nominees, I didn't know that the Pentagon had been exposed until the replacement nominee ceremony.
So another reason why this big flip ends up happening on Cedric is that, you and Chelsea had gotten close with MJ and Leah during Chelsea's HOH, but they had felt leaning into that eviction that actually things had become a little bit distant, and that allowed T-Core and Chemo to kind of swoop in and pick up the two of them. Was there anything purposeful behind distancing that relationship between those couple weeks?
Nothing truly personal other than you just start forming who you actually like in the house. And that was hard for me, I guess, to cover up. There were people that I just enjoyed being around more, and it ended up being Chelsea and Cedric and Cam. Truly, not just because they were in my alliance. I just started to blend and mesh with them. And as much as I tried at the beginning to keep a smile on my face and talk with everybody and hang out, there's just some people that are really annoying. And personally, I just didn't care for. So everyone's a great person, but game wise, that house 24/7, there's some people that I would have rathered cut my hair with toenail clippers than be around more than I had to be.
Well, maybe on that note, I want to speak about your relationship with Angela, because complicated would be putting it mildly. There are points where the two of you do bond over, mutual experiences, but then there are things like her picking you twice for the HOH competition and you having an adverse reaction to that. Obviously, everything going on with the charcuterie board. But then you tell her on the way out last night, like, win it, basically. Like, you can do it, go the distance. So talk to me about your thoughts on your dynamic.
You know what? Angela is a special breed of human, and she's just lucky to still be in the house. She's a floater. I know she's won 2 HOHs, so that's hard to say floater when you've won, but those are kind of accidents. Like the first one was pure luck, and then bad AI. I'll just say I have bad eyes, and she targeted me, and clearly she thought I'd be good at it. But the person you saw week 1 in her calling people crazy eyes and bringing people's mama into the game, that's Angela. And so whatever she says from here on out is just a facade. And so people should take her for face value and the week 1 Angela and run with it and get her out of that house.
Well,
She's
last thing I want to do on that note is play a little bit of a game with you, Brooklyn. I'm going to give you the name of someone who's still in the house. You give me the first word or few words that come to mind for them. How's that sound?
Okay. All right.
Well, let's start on that note. Keep the momentum going. Angela.
Toxic.
Cam.
Upbeat, quiet.
Chelsea.
Holy and hood.
Joseph.
Who?
Chemo.
Sweet as pie.
Leah.
She's at the salon.
Mackenzie.
Oh, a Southern sweetheart.
Quinn.
Best player of Big Brother history.
Wow. Wild. I don't want to stop that, but can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
I am telling you, that boy, I should call him man so he's not offended. That man is smart, and he is playing an incredible game, a little messy. So he might need to control that a bit, but I want Chelsea to win. Mark my words. I want my girl to win this. But who do I think is going to win? As long as Tucker gets kicked out, it's going to be Quinn. He deserves to win this game. He is an incredible super fan. He has a wonderful story, a bigger heart, and he is smart. He's the one that had the veto around his neck this week for a reason. I'll just say that. He was going home this week if he was on the block, and he knew that, and he did what he had to do.
All right, well, let's finish up with the last few names here. Rubina.
Spicy Filipina.
Picor.
Calculated quiet.
Let's end this with another complicated relationship, much like we began with Tucker.
Biggest mouth ever.
Well, Brooklyn, thank you so much. Again, your candidness, especially on your way out of the house, was very much appreciated, not only last night, but today. Yeah. And listen, I know it's not ideal circumstances, but it goes to show just how wildly fun the game of Big Brother can be. That 1 week you're on the top and the next it all comes down. And thank you so much for getting to show yourself in so many ways over the course of these past 5 weeks. It was such a pleasure getting to talk with you this morning.
No, thank you so much. It was a dream come true, and we'll wait to see what's next. I'm excited to watch the rest of the season with my family.
Sounds good. Well, all the best to you and your family as well. And thank you so much again, Brooklyn. Enjoy your weekend.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.